H1 with this new Zoom H5 because I just got the new shotgun microphone, which I admittedly did forget to use in the last video. Well, it's not I forgot to use, I just forgot to turn it on, didn't press record. But anyway, so I've got the new Zoom H5. I'm going to be testing it out a little bit. You're going to be hearing me use it in all these videos. I'm using it in this video now. But, as always, when you buy something new, something always breaks. And what broke this time but my XLR cable, which means I actually can't really connect my microphone into the recorder. I'm using a XLR to 3.5mm jack at the moment, which isn't quite as good, and it means I can't provide phantom power. So, oh well, anyway. Yeah, so it turned out that I actually forgot to turn the recorder on again in this video. So in that section it was just the in-camera audio, no NTG2. You will hear it at some point, I promise. So in today's video I want to talk a little bit about lighting and how I set up most of my shots. It's just lighting in general, like how to light things like this. But first, let's show you.
Give up, there's rest for your weary soul, and time to heal yet still you fight with what you're told, and hold on to your scars and wounds and paths of old. And I said,
So what I want to do is talk a bit about lighting and how important that can be. So I want to show you how I can take my room from looking like this to looking like this. So to start off with, what I've done is I have closed my blind back here because what I want to do is I want to be able to have full control of all the light in the room. So to start off with, what I've just done is put on the light in my room. It's just, you know, a normal bulb. It's quite orange in terms of colour temperature, but that is going to be my starting point for this. So I've just got my camera here, and I've got the microphone up here, and I've got no lights on whatsoever. No lights on at all, literally just the room lights. So what you'll notice is that it's quite dark. I've not got much kind of definition on my face. It's all quite orange. That is just a bit because of the bulb, but it doesn't render out skin tones very nicely. So what we're going to start off by doing is adding our key light. So for my key light, I'm going to use a big LED panel. It's not that expensive. It's from a company called Neewer. I think it's got 660 LEDs in it. It's bicolour, so that is what I'm going to use as my key light. So we're going to turn that on now. So I've just turned on my key light. As you can see, I've turned off the room light. And it's coming from about 45 degrees over here. I've got it on its max brightness at its middle colour temperature, so it's about daylight balanced. And you can see straight away that it's made a big difference. Everything looks a bit brighter and it's kind of a bit more like full of life, whereas before it looked quite orange and dull. But what you will notice is that it's still quite harsh shadows on my eyes. So this side of my face is really bright, but this side of my face is really dark, and we don't really want that. We want the light to wrap around my face. We want it to be a bit softer. So what my next step is going to be to add some diffusion. So what I use is this. This is just it's a 5-in-1 reflector and diffuser. You can get it off of Amazon for about 10 quid. It's not very expensive, but it's going to make a massive difference. So basically what it is it's a big sheet of almost like shower curtain kind of material, which the light can go through, and it breaks it down. It makes it much softer, so it's much nicer light to work with for video. So what you should notice now is that the light across my face is much softer, and it might not be quite as bright and as harsh, but it kind of like wraps around my face. And yeah, this is just the kind of light that I like to use, especially for these things, because it looks quite natural. Yeah, I just like how it looks. But what you can sometimes find similar to here is that there isn't a lot of separation between me, my subject, and the background. So what I'm going to do next is add a hair light or a kicker, which is a light which it doesn't point directly, it doesn't light the subject's face necessarily, but you'll see it on the back, you'll see it in a sec, and it just helps to add that bit of separation and depth to your shot. So I've just added the kicker, which you should be able to see on this side of my face here. which is, as you can see, it's not really lighting my face, but it's got a bit of light on my shoulder and a bit of light on the side of my face, and it helps to separate me from the background. Just gives a bit of like depth to the image. I like to have one of these when I can. I just use a little tiny LED panel off of Amazon for it. It didn't cost a lot at all, maybe like 10-20 quid. But I power them with the Sony NP-F batteries, which power everything. And yeah, I just like to add a bit of a kicker. So I've done this just to show the importance of lighting to a shot, because I've kept all my microphones the same, I've kept my camera the same, I've not even touched them at all. I've left them running the whole time, and all I've done is added 2 lights and a piece of diffusion and turned off my room light, and we've gone from looking like this to this. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you next week.